Hey girl, hey. This is my second video. Me and my nighttime mustache are here to tell you how to survive the cold in Calgary if you're not Canadian, or if you just don't know how to experience the cold. I apologize for the extreme low quality of this particular clip. I was originally sitting down at the kitchen table like a regular person, but my head looked like a gone off platypus. So I was like, who's she? Never met her. So now I'm here in my pajamas. So yeah, it's just going to be a few tips on how to survive the cold in winter and things like that, and maybe I'll throw in some snowy Xmas kind of clips as well. So enjoy it, and thank you to my to my 3 subscribers. You know who you are, and I also know who you are. So enjoy, guys. I'm improving, right? I'm improving. Let me know. So the first tip I have for you is learn how to layer your clothes. Basically, when you're planning to come here, you're going to go on to Pinterest, you're going to go on to Instagram, and you're going to be like, what do people that look like me wear in Canada? What you're going to find is loads of pictures of girls, really cute blondes in massive teddy coats with skinny jeans that look like they were painted on, and like fluffy boots and etc. It doesn't make sense, and you will freeze to death, because with those kind of big fleecy kind of fluffy coats, the wind can blow directly through them. So it's all well and good when you have like 2 degrees, 3 degrees, but when it gets to -10 and the wind chill makes it feel like it's -21, you will die. Physically, you will pass away. So don't do it to yourself. Learn how to layer. A good example of like everyday kind of layering to go to work would be wearing like a long sleeve thermal kind of thing, like a top, and then wearing like a woolly jumper over that, and then wearing like a shell jacket over that. So that's important. The second point is make sure that your car is prepared for it. So basically, you need to have access to be able to plug your car into a wall. That sounds ludicrous. Why would you plug your car into a wall? Well, how it works is a lot of the older cars especially can't start in like -15, -20. So they have this little kind of like plug socket thing that's like sticking out of like the bonnet of the car. So when you look at it, you're like, does my car need to charge? Like what's it all about? So what you do is, in all of the assigned parking stalls, there's little kind of like things to plug it into, like electrical outlets. So you plug it in, and there's already a block heater installed under the bonnet of your car usually, and it will just plug into that and it will heat up. So a lot of people suggest leaving it heat overnight, that it's a necessity to get the whole night's worth out of it. It's not usually possible in a lot of these apartment blocks, especially near downtown, because there's no kind of like readily accessible parking and stuff. So for example, in our apartment block now, if we want to park, we can park randomly on the street around like the apartment block, and we don't have to pay for it. But what that means is that we don't have assigned parking. So we don't have anywhere whatsoever that we can plug a car into. So yeah, that's something to think about. When you notice that your apartment complex or wherever you're moving into wants to charge you like $175 for parking, there's a reason for that. If you can find a place to plug in your car quite easily that you can put the cord to, that it's not awkward, definitely go with that. You're going to want that in the winter. So also make sure you have, it's like a stick, and one end of it's like a brush, and the other end is like hard kind of plastic. And what you do is every morning your car is going to be completely covered in snow. Well, not every morning, that's unreasonable, but most mornings. So you're going to brush off the actual like thick snow with the brush, and you're going to use the scraper on the actual windshield itself. It won't damage the windshield, just to scrape off all the bits of like ice and stuff that's stuck overnight, so that you can obviously see through it. So you definitely need one of those. I got one in Safeway for $10. They're not expensive at all. Yeah, so that's all you need to know about the car. The third thing is how to manage the dryness with the cold at the same time. So a lot of places are like wet and kind of damp and gross and cold, but this place is more like extremely dry, and the dryness like seeps into your body and is just super kind of annoying. So we had to go out and buy a humidifier. So we bought one in Walmart. It was $40. It wasn't on sale or anything. It was just always $40. So you can definitely get one there. And what it basically does is you fill up the canister with water, and then you turn it on overnight while you're asleep, and it emits like vapor and like water into the atmosphere, I guess. And what happens is that your throat doesn't get dry then when you're sleeping, and your lips aren't going to crack. So a humidifier will resolve that for you. Buy one, put it in your bedroom as close to you as possible. I haven't woken up with a dry or a sore throat or cracked lips since we've been using it, which is really nice. Another thing would be you need to turn on your indoor heating all of the time, constantly, even if you're warm. What you'll find is if you don't turn your heating on like at all, if you feel warm enough, if you feel like the heat where you're living is fine, then the pipes are much more likely to freeze and everyone will be out of water. So it's kind of like one of those things where everyone is responsible for making sure that that doesn't happen by keeping your heating on constantly. Even if it's on like a super low setting, just keep it on. So the last thing is prepare for the outside world. So I don't just mean wear jackets and stuff. I mean as in it can get really slippy and actually slightly kind of dangerous when you're just out there walking around. So one thing I would suggest is to make sure that whatever shoes you have traction. So what I mean by that is make sure they have grooves at the bottom of the sole, so that when you're walking outside on the thick snow and the thick ice, you're not just going to slip and slide right off it. You have something that's gripping onto the surface of the floor. So that's really important. My Doc Martens, which I thought would be great for that, were terrible. It is like a slip and slide every time I'm trying to be remotely fashionable. So anytime you walk on it, you're just gonna fall. Like, my boyfriend always falls, but like, bam, like falls. I always slip, but I never actually full on like hit the ground. I think I'm too annoying to hit the ground, but yeah, so it's super dangerous. Make sure you have boots that have traction, whatever shoes you have. It makes more sense to wear boots here anyway rather than like short shoes, because the snow can come up so high that it can like get into your shoes. So boots are vibes here. But yeah, have traction. And what else? Also, if you can't find, or if you don't have or can't afford any shoes that have grooves like at the bottom of the sole, one other idea would be go to Canadian Tire or anywhere, I think Walmart has them as well, and get these like black things that you like tie onto the end of your shoe, and they have little dots and little grooves in them, and they give you the traction. So I saw them in Canadian Tire anyway the other day when I went in there to get a table, and they were like were they 15? I think they were $15 for a set of them. So that's also something you could do as well. Also have winter tires. Have a set of winter tires and summer tires. If you're buying a car, sorry, I just looked out the window. This phone is facing the window, and there's a woman sitting in her car, and she's literally just like, she's smoking something, but I can't tell what she's smoking, and now she's like coughing and choking and whoa. Okay. She's literally about to see me, so I need to stop watching her. One thing I forgot. I'm gonna go to Walmart now. I was gonna say one thing I forgot to mention before was when you're preparing for the dryness of it all, you need to have chapstick on you constantly all the time, because your lips are gonna get super dry and annoying. And you also need to have some kind of moisturizing thing for your face. I got like this, I just got coconut oil. I just use coconut oil for everything anyway, but there was this really like cheap hand moisturizer thing in Walmart. I can't remember what it was called, but it was $4, so you don't have to spend a huge pile of money on it. to get good stuff. I would suggest just getting a jar of coconut oil and using that to moisturize your skin, and you can even use that for your lips and stuff as well. It's just the handiest thing ever. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in. So do you see that woman there up ahead? Well, basically I turned around for a split second, turned back, and she was after getting past the hill. No idea how she did that. I tried to do it and I fell flat on my ass and slid the whole way down the hill, and it took me about 25 minutes to get up. So don't try Walmart at home, kids. So that's it from me, guys, just on my way home from Walmart now. I hope you enjoyed my tips on how to survive the Canadian winter. Thanks again to my 3 entire subscribers.